Well, hello everybody, and I'm Peter Goldstein, president of Hippocrates Docs, and I'd like to welcome you to our week 35 of Just One Thing at a Time for Health. And our mission was to feature at least 30 doctors, and each doctor offering a challenge for a change in lifestyle so that people can shift to a healthy, whole foods, plant-based lifestyle. And tonight, it's my great honor to have Dr. Brenda Bradley with us. She's a PhD nutritionist and a coach, and she has some amazing stories, her own story, as well as stories about her clients. We have shared her challenge this week, and it's about not drinking milk, not drinking cow milk, and making a switch to nut milks. And she will share with us lots of wonderful information, and wonderful in that it's powerful, and in so many ways sad because milk has really damaged so many lives. But the good news is that it's not too late to turn that around. So with that, here's Dr. Bradley. And Dr. Bradley, tell us a little bit about yourself and your story and what it is that you do.
Okay, well, thank you, Peter, and thank you all for having me, and hello, everyone that's out there. I am Dr. Brenda Bradley. I have had a remarkable career and a life that has taken many twists and turns, from being in the United States Air Force to all the way to becoming a certified integrative nutrition health coach. One of the things I will tell you is that the common denominator within the Air Force and what I do today is my desire to serve and to help others. Several years ago, I had some health challenges, some health issues. I struggled with high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I struggled with depression. I was pre-diabetic. And last and surely not least, I was 236 pounds. Wow. I was back and forth to the doctor. I was miserable. And she was constantly putting me on more and more medication, and I was getting sicker and sicker. And so I heard about a plant-based lifestyle, something that I would never, ever think about. However, I was sick, and I felt like I wasn't getting the help. And so I turned my life around by removing certain products from my life, and I adopted a plant-based lifestyle. Within 3 months, I could not believe this, I was taking off all of my medication except the depression medication, because I didn't know I had to be weaned off of that. However, and within 10 months, I had lost all my weight, and I was back down to 160. I went from 236 back to 136, all because I removed certain foods from my diet. And that's been 8 years, and I still get a clean bill of health. I go to the doctor twice a year just to get my blood checked, to make sure there's no deficiencies with my vitamin D or my B12. So what I do today is I do my best. My goal is to support, to guide, to help others that are really looking to take back their health, is what I call it. So with me going back I went back to school. I was actually working in corporate America, and I had a very, 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 very good job. And it just didn't feed my soul the way that being a nutritionist does today, with helping so many people to understand and to help them to realize what's really going on out there in the market today.
That's amazing. What a great story, and congratulations. You've done phenomenal things, and I know that it must have felt good every step of the way, and that kept you going, and now you get a chance to share this with so many other people and help them change their lives.
Yes, I do. And like I mentioned, Peter, I totally enjoy it. Helping others to understand. And it's a process that I try to let people know that Rome wasn't built in a day. So we're going to have to take it, I love this, just one thing at a time. You just have to take it one day at a time. I love that. When I was told about the program, I said, that's amazing, because before you know it, you'll be running instead of walking, because it's really a rewarding lifestyle, especially when you have the support that you need.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And that is our mission. You know, there's so many people who are really fortunate. They can just change everything and go through the addictions, and because so much of this food is addicting, and certainly the milk, the fat that's in cheeses is also addicting. And there's some people can just put it down one day and never look back. But I think most of us do need to pace it at the pace that we can do it. And doing one lifestyle habit at a time is what we're hoping will work for a lot of people. And thank you so much for being part of this and for helping people go through it. Could you talk a little bit about the research, the scientific research around milk, and how milk is linked to various diseases and obesity? And please address that if you would.
Sure. So that's one of the things that that I noticed is when I took, so when I started on my plant-based lifestyle, not only did I just remove meat, including fish, from my diet, I also, anything that came from the animal byproducts, I removed it also. And one of the things was milk. I'm talking eggs, milk, and cheese. And so really, what I just mentioned, with the exception of eggs, is really dairy product. And what I noticed about it when I removed that, my skin started to get better. I didn't have the stomach aches. Not even mucus, because that was mucus buildup as well. And then I started saying, wait a minute, let me just go and start doing a little research. And so what I did was in the peer reviews and with the journal, the National Health Association, the World Health Organization, there was another organization, even the Center for Disease Control. And then I started reading and following, like I call the trailblazers, T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Greger. I love him teaching me how not to die. And, Dr. Milton Mill, and then the list just goes on. And these men who has done the research, and that's what I really love when you get these books that they have, is so much research in there. And I have to mention one other guy that I see him maybe throughout the year, and that is Dr. Neil Barnard. Dr. Neil Barnard, so trailblazer. And the research is out there. And so when I started reading the research, the thing about it, Peter, is it's really what's happening to the cow. If we can go there, that is, let me explain this way. What the industry is doing as far as impregnating the cow, the antibiotics, the steroids, and all of these drugs, they are putting this in this cow, and then we're bringing this milk per se to market. So it's like years and years ago, we didn't have these many problems with the milk. But now when you do the research and you see that what all that is causing, like for example, we're having problems with cholesterol, saturated fats. Some people are lactose intolerant. There are antibiotics, like I mentioned, pesticides, the pulse, and all of this. All of this is based on the research. So finally now, there's a gentleman, his name is Dr. Walter Willett, I believe. He is the head of the nutrition at Harvard. And he's been doing extensive research as well to say, hey, time out. It is the milk. There is something, because as you know, for so many years, milk does a body good, right? Remember the white mustache and all of that. But from 2005 to 2018, milk sales were a $54.3 billion market. And if you go back and you look at the statistic now, more Americans are saying, hey, we know that it's the milk. We've been educated. We realize we've taken it out of our diet. We feel a little bit better. So the sales start to do what? Decline. So now in 2018, it's $1.1 billion decline. So that alone right there also tells you it has to be something with that milk. And another thing is that I mentioned in my video, you want me, I see you, Peter, is that why, the question that I enjoy asking people, and not to be funny or anything like that, the question is, why are we human beings the only ones still drinking the milk of another species that wasn't designed for us? I mean, the cow, the cat, the dog, the goat, all of these animals, the milk was designed for their newborn offspring, but why are we? And now when we look at the studies, we'll see that milk is causing a lot of problems with our health. And so just one thing I want to encourage everyone, just try it, and that is to remove it. Just remove it for a week and just journal and see what changes, if you notice any changes, which I'm sure you will.
That's amazing, and it's so nice to have so many alternatives in the nut milks, and
Yes.
that's just really wonderful, and it's so great. It's so worth celebrating the $1.1 billion drop in sales in milk, and look forward to having, you know, more people, those sales dropping even more. And you know, I know that I have grandkids, and I don't really have power over what they eat, and every time I see them have milk, my heart breaks.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have some wonderful stories and testimonials about your clients. Could you share a couple of those?
Yes, and one of my clients, which happened to be my youngest client, she has some health issues, and when her mother called me, she's like, okay, we really need help. You know, we've tried everything to help her to lose weight, but she's not, and we just want to come and see if you can help out. So I go, and well, they come to me actually, and I meet the little girl, and she has some skin discoloration like around her neck. She's obese, of course, and mother was telling me that one of the things the little girl was doing is drinking a lot of milk. And she said, that's one thing you're not going to be able to remove. And I said, well, children are visual. You know, they know what it looks like. If they can't read, they surely know what it looks like. So what I told the mother to do was to, that same milk carton, that gallon milk carton that she has sitting in the refrigerator, I told her to, when her daughter goes to bed, get rid of it, clean it out, and then fill it with a nut milk. And so she chose to fill it with unsweetened almond milk. And it's been over 8 months. And when I see the little girl, she always thanked me for not taking away her milk. So she doesn't know. And one of the things, when I sat down with her, I told her, you know, we're going to remove some of the foods from your diet. And it's only just to help you. And I'm not saying that you can never go back to those foods, but right now I just want you to do this for me, and let's just see if it works. And she said, don't take my milk. I said, okay, I'm not going to take your milk, which I didn't. So I did take some other foods away and she's been able to tolerate that. And some of the foods, like she loved hot dogs. So we kind of took the hot dogs away and got the vegan hot dogs and things like that children liked. And our mother would buy, you know, even like the ice cream and stuff like that. So that's one story. Another story, one of my clients had an acne problem. I knew right then when I saw it, even just the look of it, I knew that milk had something to do with that. And we removed that. And what I do, Peter, is when I remove an item, I try to replace it so that they won't miss it that much. So this lady loved eating ice cream. So we got rid of the ice cream with the cow's milk, and we got the ice cream that has, you know, the nut milks in it, the coconut milk, the almond milk, and things like that. What is so amazing is that people just don't know. And when they have the support that they need, and someone that can help them, they soon realize, wait a minute, I'm feeling better and this tastes good. And I'm gonna tell you now, I love to eat, so the food has to taste good for me too. And I eat
Absolutely.
a lot.
Yes, right. But then also our taste buds change pretty quickly, and our taste and our smell. And so are you finding that for your clients, they change over time, and pretty soon the things that they used to be addicted to are disgusting?
Yes. So what I tell them, I have a program that I call the 21-Day Vegan Challenge. I'm challenging them to 21 days. And the reason why I challenge them is because I know that it takes 21 days to break that habit. I also know if they follow the guidelines that I give them, that their palate is going to begin to change. And they're not going to want those certain foods that they were craving before. And then I'm able to explain, why the palate changes. And that's one of the reasons why, as I mentioned, with the foods that I am introducing them to are a lot of plant-based. I call it whole food plant-based, which is really living foods that are in their natural state, your vegetables and your fruit. And I tell them that when the body takes on these vegetables and fruit in its natural state, it is in a familiar environment, because the human body and plant, we have similar building blocks. So the plants know what to do when we are consuming them in their natural state. So what they do is they go to work, and I'm gonna use you, Peter, as an example. They say, hey guys, Peter is feeding us something that we need, not what he wants us to have. So let's go to work on Peter's behalf. So they start pushing out all those toxins that's probably been accumulating for years. And then Peter come to Dr. Bradley and say, oh, I have a headache. Oh, my stomach ache. And I said, oh, Peter, you're just detoxing. All those toxins are coming out. Just hang in there, because in about 5 days or so, you're going to feel a whole lot better. So with that comes the rebuilding of better cells. The body regenerates cells all the time. So now you're getting these new cells that are much stronger. So the body is changing. And so that's one of the reasons why the palate changes. And then you don't want that. Like I mentioned, when I totally changed, I don't know what possessed me to take this cookie from a coworker, which I knew wasn't good for me. And as soon as I took like a little piece, it was super, super, super sweet. And before it wasn't. So my palate changed. I don't want it. My body did not want it. So that's really what happens.
So tell us a little bit more about your 21-day challenge and what kinds of ways you support people in getting through that.
So sure. So this 21-day vegan challenge is exactly for 21 days. I host this challenge every month. This challenge consists of, I give you a 21-day meal plan. You receive a copy of my cookbook. I have a cookbook that's being sold on Amazon and my website. It's called Kale Yeah, It's Good, No Meat Necessary. They get a copy of that. And they get a shopping list, and I have a private access to, I have a Facebook page. So from the day one that the challenge begins, and I also give them what I call a remove and replace chart to help them out. So they might say, oh, what can I replace this spaghetti with? And then they'll look at the chart and they say, oh, I can use this brown rice artichoke pasta or something like that that's healthy. Or what can I replace that? Don't throw anything at me, but what can I replace that cup of coffee with? I'll say something else, like there's another coffee, there's an alternative out there. So I give them all of that. And then from day one, they also get a journal, because I think that's very important to journal what's going on with you and to understand what we call primary foods. And primary foods are what is leading you to eat what you know that you should not be eating. So in that journal, and so from day one, I'm with them and I'm telling them what's going to happen, what they need to do day 1, day 2, day 15, all the way to day 21. So I am with them for 21 days. And that could be via in the group or on the telephone or texting or even coming to see me. So I started that program in 2016, January 2016, and I have graduated over 3,000 people.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I have not had one dropout, not one.
Wow.
Yes.
And do you follow up with these folks, or?
They stay with me. I do not take them out of the group unless they want to. And then some of them will come back and they'll say, okay, what else can I do? Give me something else. And then I'll take them to another step and I'll say, you know what? I want to introduce you to intermittent fasting. I want to do that. And we're going to do a plant-based intermittent fasting. And then they'll come back and they say, oh, teach me more. I said, okay, let's go raw food. I want you to go raw food, and we're going to use superfoods as well. So they stay with me. Yes, they do.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's really wonderful. And you also have another book that about testimonials.
I do. So the first year, like I mentioned, I started the 21-day vegan challenge, and I had all these people come through. And then one day I'm meditating and I'm listening to whatever's in my head doing meditation. It says, hey, they have a voice. Let them tell people about their testimony. So I did a collaboration with them. So it's really a compilation of stories of people who went through the 21-day vegan challenge. And some of the stories are hilarious and some of them are tearjerkers, but they talk about how they use food. And they had diabetes, they had high blood pressure, the cholesterol, and all of that. One lady even was trying to have a child, and she did. And her story is in there. And so that name of that book is called I Feel Good, and it became an international bestseller the very next day that it launched.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Wow. Yes. Well, you're really making a difference for so many people. That's awesome.
Well, you know, Peter, I was so sick, like I mentioned. I was chasing that corporate ladder, eating unhealthy. You know, my mind wasn't right, and my prayer was, if I could just be made whole again. I wanted my life back. If I could just be made whole again, I'm going to make sure to help someone else to become whole again too. So what you might have said, oh, that was very lucrative. No, what I do now is very lucrative because health is wealth, and I'm very wealthy right now. So
and you're sharing that with people.
Say that again.
I say you're sharing the wealth with lots of people.
Yes, and so I totally enjoy it from day one. I mean, it's just, I wake up every morning saying, who can I help? Who can I go see? Who can I just sit there and just be quiet and just let them know that I'm here to help? Yeah, so, and no guilty feelings. My whole practice is built on guilt-free. You know, because I tell them, you know, you might fall down, but the best thing is to be able to get back up. And gratitude plays a really big part in that too. So I totally enjoy it. I really do.
Well, can you share a couple of the testimonial stories with us?
I can.
We'd love to hear them.
Say that again.
We would really love to hear it, and we'd love to share with people watching. And
Can I get my book real quick?
Yeah, please. Okay. Please. All right.
It's right over here. I'm still in the room. I just got to get the.
Okay, we're back on.
Okay, so this is my 21-day vegan challenge book, and it has some of the testimonies in there already. If you could, I don't know if you could see her.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one person. So it says, what are participants saying about the 21-day vegan challenge? And this comes from Lucy. And Lucy says, I would be remiss in not sharing how incredibly wonderful today is for me. Today, I turned 52 years old. I've included a collage of my transformation and my vegan journey. The collage consists of pictures from 10 years ago at my heaviest at 330 pounds, of me exactly 1 year ago at 277, then of me 4 months at 240 pounds, and then today at 220 pounds. Your reason for accepting this challenge may be to restore your health, to lose weight, or to learn how to make good food choices. Whatever your reason is, I ask you to remember it in times of temptation, weakness, and frustration. The only way for you to know that this challenge works or what it has to offer is to fully embrace it and stick to it. When you feel like things are going hard, I encourage you, implore you to hang in there. Reach out to our fearless leader, Dr. Brenda Bradley. She has put in place a God-inspired, well-researched, and well-prepared plan. She's done all the work for you to help make a difference in your life. Make today and the next several days count toward achieving goals that you may have had in place for years and have been unable to achieve. Don't be afraid of what you will experience from the body, mind, and heart. Today, I am on day 216 of being a vegan. In these past 216 days, I have restored my body to good health. I will not inherit my family's health problems of diabetes, heart disease, anemia, countless other illnesses. Please keep in mind that people are watching you. When I tell you that I feel the best and look the best today more than ever before, and I thank Dr. Bradley for her support and love.
Oh, congratulations. That's so wonderful.
Yes. And the next one is from a young lady who suffered from lupus. And she says, it's very short. She says, over the last 21 days, I took my body through a Going Vegan 21-day challenge. Although the challenge has ended, my conscious eating has not. As a person who is currently dealing with lupus, I am truly amazed with the difference this change has made in my health and my weight. I feel really good and my energy level is up. I am so excited about this new chapter in my life. Even if you don't want to be a vegan, I want to encourage you to at least give this challenge a try.
My goodness, that's wonderful. Yeah, healing lupus, I love hearing that, because that's one of the diseases that Western medicine doesn't have solutions for. And to be able to turn around so many diseases with a plant-based diet, but then even doing the ones that Western medicine doesn't have a solution for, that speaks so clearly about the power of this lifestyle.
It really does, because I have a young lady, she's not in this book, she's new. She had autoimmune, which we know that lupus is too, and it's called fibromyalgia. And she said, you know what, that's it. I'm just going to go and try to see if this worked, because nothing is working for me. And she's telling everybody that she had started a nonprofit to try to help, because she said that people with fibromyalgia, they suffer in silence. Nobody truly really understands what they're going through. Now she's able to tell them, you have to adopt a plant-based lifestyle. And then you have to take out, so just because it's vegan now doesn't mean it's good for you, but really whole food plant-based. And so now just imagine, you like hearing it, and I'm right in the midst of it. So I make sure I have Kleenex all the time. So yeah, I deal with just a lot of issues that people actually come to me. And Peter, I do tell people that, of course, I have to tell them I'm not a medical doctor. You know, I have to give them that disclaimer. And I have to tell them that, you know, I'm not in the business to cure, but I am in the business to help and to open their eyes to other things that they could possibly do to help themselves. And so once they get involved in it, just like Lucy, it's just like they take off with it and they run away with it. And it's because they feel so good, because I love saying this, because they've been made whole again. And life is great. Yeah. So
so why is it that everybody doesn't know this? I mean, to me, it's just so strange that this is an everyday thing. I mean, we go to our doctors, and most doctors, they prescribe the drugs, and none of that. Once we get on a pharmaceutical, there's no turning back with pharmaceuticals. There's no drug, there's no end to it. It seems like every drug leads to higher doses and more drugs and other drugs, and there's no turning back from it except for a lifestyle change. And you would think that that's something everybody would know. And so
you would think.
Well, I guess my question is, what will it take for us as a culture, as a society, to get to the point where this is every day? Where's the tipping point to where people say, yeah, well, it's simple. I just have to change my lifestyle.
I mean, that's easy to say, but you know, we're dealing with some giants here. We have to defeat the giant, you know, whether it's the industries, you know, we're up against a huge industries and things like that. And I would tell you, for me, my doctor, I mean, she was, and I have to say was because she's no longer my doctor. She was absolutely amazing. I mean, she was a wonderful woman. And there were days, Peter, that, you know, I was like crying and saying, you got to help me. I'm paying you all this money. And all you could tell me is to lose weight. And here's another prescription. And what is this? You know, it got to a point that she wanted me to give myself injections on something that I didn't even have. And so she finally told me, she said, listen, you know, I am a medical doctor. I can send you to a nutritionist. And when I heard that word, nutritionist, I never even thought about it because I was too busy looking at her because she's my doctor. I had put all my faith into this doctor. Now, even though I told you that she's not my doctor anymore, we are friends because she referred her patients to me. Because I went back to see her and she actually tested me. She was the one who took me off all my medication. And she said, I cannot believe this. And she said, you know what? We don't get that much nutrition when we're in school, but it's a lot of stuff that's going on out there. And she has been encouraged by Forks Over Knives.
Yes.
To start looking into that. So we just, like I said, we've been so conditioned and we've been so taught all of these things by the industry, and we're up against a giant. So it's going to take the T. Colin Campbells and the Peter Goldsteins and the Hippocrates Docs, and it's going to take Just One Thing and the Dr. Bradley and the Ritas. It's going to take us to continuously, you know, bond together to help others because they just don't know, and what they just don't know, they're not going to be able to do. And another thing, it's a lot of conspiracy out there. And the bottom line is this, and which is really, really sad. It's all about money and profit. And
yes.
We're all expendable. So it's what it's going to take.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I agree with you. It's interestingly enough, I was just watching a video with Dr. Greger, and he says, yeah, it's all about money. But then he says, well, but look at the milk industry, for instance. They have the cartons, they have the filling machines, they have all that, and they could be filling those cartons with almond milk. And once they see that they're really about making money, once the consumer's asking for it and they see that they can be making money with almond milk, then, you know, they don't need all that cow poop around, and they'll go and fill those cartons with almond milk.
I totally agree. And that's what some of them are, you know, when they started seeing that their sales are declining, you know, they send their analysts out there and they're like, oh, we got to get something, you know. I remember when Coca-Cola saw that they had a huge sale and Pepsi had a huge, a huge decline in sales. What they do, they went out and they started bringing juice and introducing different juices and stuff like that, even though they still wasn't that healthy, but they was trying to keep up with it. So as we continue to want to eat healthier and buy healthier food, they're going to have to sooner or later bring them to the market. And that's what has definitely happened. More stores are getting these products in now, and it's a beautiful thing to see that. So we just have to stay the course. But wouldn't it be nice if the whole world went plant-based?
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it would be great.
It's a matter of time, yes. And Rita has a question for you. Rita, are you ready to ask your question?
I can't hear Rita.
Okay.
It's like your microphone is muted.
Your microphone is muted.
Yeah, just click on it. Yeah.
That.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, Dr. Bradley. I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
One is, do you get most of your clients from self-referrals, or are you getting physicians referring clients to you?
Most of them come from people, word of mouth. Oh, can you hear me? Peter, you're muted. Okay. Most of them come from word of mouth. Facebook and places like that. I only have like a couple of physicians that refer, but no, I get most of them from people that have come through the challenge.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering that question. Now I have another one. We're encouraging more and more women to continue breastfeeding after they have a child.
Okay, let's do this. Let me go ahead and turn yours off. Let's.
Oh, so yes.
Okay.
I hear you.
All right. We're encouraging more and more women to breastfeed after they have a child.
I think you're asking me, do I recommend that most women breastfeed after they have a child?
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think, well, I know when it comes to breastfeeding, I mean, number one, it's a beautiful thing. It's a bonding between a mother and a child. And also it's a way to make sure that your child is getting the nourishment that he or she needs. I mean, again, I go back to the animals, the cows, the dogs, the cats, and all that are breastfeeding. There's a reason. I mean, that milk is designed for that baby, just like a woman's milk is designed for her newborn. And I would love to see more and more women breastfeeding their children. Absolutely. Now, I do know that, some women, I probably can't for whatever reason. But I think that should be one of the things that the doctor should be able to sit down to talk to her about. I have not met, and not saying that it doesn't happen, I haven't met a woman that couldn't really produce, but I have heard that women say that they were not producing enough milk. But that's a whole nother study right there, because there could be something going on with the mother as well. But to answer your question is, I totally believe that a woman should breastfeed her child. Yeah.
Then my next question was, let me turn my phone on. Okay, is that better?
I hear you a little bit.
Okay, my next question was, in baby formulas, are they still milk-based? When a woman goes to the market to buy a formula for her baby, are they still dairy-based formulas?
Yes, some of them are, but some of them are not. And I believe, don't quote me, there is one that is called PoC, and I think that's not made with, that's not an animal's milk. So they still have them on the market, but they're getting better and better with that as well. And that'll be another thing that maybe I could talk about that's very controversial, and that is soy. So, but yeah, they still have both on the market, yes.
Okay, and I guess it's a matter of education, getting the word out there to women when they are planning to get pregnant about what the best food and nutrition course is for their child.
Yes, one of my colleagues, she is a doula, and she travels around to educate the mother and to talk about that, and she's plant-based as well. And so that's her, and I love it. I mean, that's her passion, but I think that's wonderful to be able, as a woman is expecting, that she just don't have to go to Lamaze classes. She have other classes that she could go to, or someone that can help her to understand this whole birthing process and what she can be doing to help her child during and after, when it comes to the health of the baby. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
Well, thank you very much. Now I'm going to turn it over to Peter. Appreciate you.
I'm coming for my hat.
Okay, I'm back. This a little bit of technology challenges here, but
it's okay.
Okay, so how do people find you? Tell us how people will find you after all this great information. I can't imagine they wouldn't be just really wanting to connect with you.
Well, I love telling people to go out and take a look at my TED Talk. I did a TED Talk called No Prescription Necessary. All they would have to do is go to YouTube and type in Brenda Bradley and it'll come up. That talks about my whole journey in less than 10 minutes. Can you believe that? But it's absolutely wonderful. I have a website, Peter, and that website is drbtbradley.com. That's www.drbtbradley, which is my name, .com, drbtbradley.com. They can call me. Can you believe that? They can call me at 888-567-2822. They can follow me on Instagram. Now, if you go to my Instagram pages, I call myself the fairy godmother of food because I love to cook and I love to show my food and I give the recipes. So you can follow me. And my Instagram is at .brad67. Yep, that's DOCBRAD 67. And they can follow me on Twitter at Dr. Brenda Bradley.
Well, that's wonderful. Lots of great ways to get a hold of you, and I know that you have so many wonderful tools for people in changing their lifestyles and changing their health and changing their lives. And so I want to thank you for all that you do and all that you're contributing to change this world. You're
welcome. Can I give a free offer on here? Am I allowed to?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm very excited because I tell you I love giving things away. Can you see that?
Yes, yay, kale.
Kale, yeah, it's good. No meat necessary. This is actually the hard copy of my cookbook. But for just one thing, and my thank you for being on, for all of your listeners, if they send me an email to info@drbtbradley.com, I am going to give them that cookbook for free.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a good cookbook.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's my thanks for having me on. I appreciate you all. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being with us. And I look forward to seeing all the great things you keep doing and look forward to featuring another challenge by you. We'd love to have you back with our Just One Thing for Health, one thing at a time. And we want to make sure that people don't think that there's like one pill and they get health, but we're looking to change lifestyle one thing at a time. And that's our mission. And we love having people like you collaborating. You're amazing. And you've done so much great work. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And last but not least, I always tell people, please allow food to be your medicine and not your poison. And yes. I look forward to working with you all and being on again. And this has been wonderful. So again, thank you so much for having me. And it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, and all the best to you and everybody you're doing so wonderfully helping. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I stopped the video.
You talking to me?
Yes.